We are Movie Menu Reviews, your Tomb Raider of Pacific Rim, Uprising. On today's double feature, we'll be doing a double feature review of Tomb Raider and Pacific Rim Uprising. Welcome, ladies and gents. I'm Dan the Man Muñoz, host of Movie Menu Reviews, your weekly movie news and reviews podcast. Live on Facebook with episode 180, guys.
Wow.
Yes. 180. We finally made it.
That's impressive.
We finally made it to the end.
Of no more.
No, yeah, we're done. This is the final episode. We're done.
Yeah,
We're
not really.
No,
We're
no.
gonna keep.
If we're done, it's because of our special guest today.
Damn! Get canceled because of Heather.
You know what? I'm leaving.
We love you. We kid.
Whatever.
Joining us today is our special guest, and we're not reviewing a Disney movie technically, so it's nice to have you on a non-Disney film. Heather McLane.
Yay! Welcome.
Welcome.
I don't feel very welcome.
You really should not.
Do you ever feel welcome?
Not
with us?
really. No.
By the way,
Exactly.
I totally won the bet. Just putting that out there for the viewers to see. I won the bet.
You're talking about me influencing the over under. You influenced
This
it.
is my role. I take full responsibility. Nobody knows what we're talking about,
Cheater.
but I am cheating.
Well, someone who makes everyone feel unwelcome is our co-host and senior panelist, Z.
Hey, thank you guys.
Boo.
Yep.
And someone who makes us feel overly welcome to a creepy point is my co-host, Mike Stan.
He won't ever let us leave.
That's my skill.
And I want to give a special shout out to our audience member, Michael.
Audience member.
Oh, God. Sorry, microphone. I'm breaking stuff, Mike.
That's okay. Here you go.
Stop breaking
There you go.
stuff, Heather.
All right, I'm not gonna touch
Were
anything.
you breaking stuff?
So we
Were
have
you
a jam-packed show, so we should get started.
Yes.
We have some movie news that we're going to cover, and then we're going to go into two reviews.
Oh my God, two. Oh, okay.
Mind explosion. So we weren't here last week, so we decided to do a double feature with Tomb Raider and Pacific Rim to catch up. But first, we're going to do is we're going to do some trailer reviews of trailers that came out the past couple of weeks. First one is Won't You Be My Neighbor, which
Won't
is
You Be
basically a
My
documentary of
Aw.
Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
That's all I have to say.
What did you guys think about the trailer?
Not enough explosions.
Yeah.
That's my big.
would you rather of
You-
them to have done the Deadpool, the first trailer, when like that was Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
It was basically no. I would have wanted for like. Have you guys ever watched Drunken History?
Yeah.
Yeah, for
Okay,
something like that where like you see Mr. Rogers walking into Congress with
Drunk?
drunk and with like motherfucking music playing in the background.
That's different from Rap Battle, right?
Yes.
Or History Rap Battle?
Yeah, I think so. But even so, no, it looks fantastic. It looks magical. It looks exactly like what we need right now because it's beautiful and it's charming and I wanna see the history behind the man. And I know that like, you know, we've gotten into this moment of post nostalgia where we're like tearing down our idols, which is great. I think that's a fantastic way to go because, you know, more cynicism all around. But like Mr. Rogers was clearly one of those men who
You're the king of
He's like Mr. Anti-Rogers.
I
just in heart,
In-
not
no,
towards
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
in the heart, I love Mr. Rogers. So I want to see this. I want to see the beauty that was a man who just simply wanted to inspire. That's it.
For once, I agree with you.
Thank you.
Actually,
Wow.
I loved Mr. Rogers as a kid. My mom actually wouldn't let me watch Sesame Street because she was afraid it was going to influence my attention
Fragile
span.
Little Mind?
No, just she was very concerned about everything was so fast paced that it was gonna like ruin my attention span, which I
Interesting.
feel like is impossible.
Oh.
But anyway, she let me watch Mr. Rogers, but I loved it. Just it was so calming and puppets, and I still love puppets.
Yeah.
and I don't know, it was great.
Yeah, and I think the great part about the trailer is that it shows you how, insightful Mr. Rogers was into what the world was actually going through. He was not covering kids' eyes. He was actually exposing them to things that they weren't ready for.
But like in a nice, like,
Friendly way.
friendly way.
But
yeah.
it was
Let's
a way
talk about, hey kids, let's talk about assassination.
Yeah.
It was
or
an
divorce.
But it was an unheard of way of,
Yes.
of letting, like, teaching children about the world.
Yeah.
Because before it was just, like, seen and not heard. You don't have to explain anything to them.
Yeah.
But kids are still experiencing
Yeah.
everything. And he understood that. And he was a brilliant man that really understood how to get to people in a way that was on their level.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. And I love documentaries, so we're definitely going to be checking this one out.
Absolutely.
All right, next up, we're going to talk about Deadpool 2 trailer. Z, do you want to take over?
What else do we need to say? Deadpool 2 trailer. What did you guys think? I think. Look at that! It's playing the music for me right now. Hold on, I'll play it for the audience.
Is that the theme song for your?
I should probably stop this in a few seconds before we get copyright infringement.
Yeah, please do. Stop it. We can't afford that.
We can't afford that. What? Oh, it's playing it again.
I guess he loves it that much.
All right, so it's the trailer we've been waiting for, because we got a pre-trailer which was making fun of all pre-trailers.
But this is also entitled the X-Force trailer.
This is also the X-Force trailer, because this is now introducing X-Force into the X-Men / Deadpool universe. As people who might not know, Deadpool has become the Wolverine of the X-Men series until Marvel takes over completely. So currently, you've got Deadpool assembling a team of morally imbalanced individuals.
Yeah.
So people who are just willing to
morally ambiguous.
Fuck shit up and kill without question. So it looks great. It looks like they've introduced Butterball as the main character, main villain / new Hope, really. Like Hope Summers is a character from the comic books. You've got Cable introduced in this as like the guy who's trying to assassinate him, which kind of plays right into the Cable and Deadpool comic books. I'm excited, but I'm also a little scared. So, what do you guys think?
Well, talk about why you're scared.
I was just gonna ask.
I am like worried about it because, as we know from a lot of movies, sequels, lightning in a bottle. The first time you see a movie and the first time you experience the world, you really enjoy it. You're blown away by how crazy and amazing it is. For me, John Wick was that. I know you guys love John Wick 2, but I love John Wick 1 a lot more. I forget which other ones, but there have been several ones where like the first one was just so awesome that the second one didn't live up to it. So I feel
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Guardians of the Galaxy, thank you. That's a fantastic one right there. So I'm worried that either they're gonna play too serious or they're gonna play too funny. So the balance is where it's gonna be at. Now the great part is that I trust in Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds to me knows what he's doing, and if you've been looking at his Instagram feed, it's silly and just ridiculous. So he knows how to play it right. And
speaking of which, can we talk about Gal Gadot and
how she feels like
that he copied her look? But in all reality, we're all thinking Wakanda forever.
Yeah, exactly. So he does the X-Force by crossing his arms, which is the Wakandan forever symbol, if you haven't seen the trailer.
But then Wonder Woman does it as well.
She also does it as well. Yeah. So I think it's going to take a lot of shots. I think this film we already know that there's going to be a joke in there with Thanos. Like that they're going to intentionally make fun of.
Well, they did. It's funny. I didn't notice it in the first trailer.
Yeah.
But when they're doing the puppetry with Deadpool, and he's like, "I got the stones that you need."
Oh.
He's like the Infinity Stones.
There you go.
It hit me like, oh, that's funny.
There you go.
He's Thanos.
Yeah, they're going to definitely take shots at Marvel, and I'm happy. I'm looking forward to this. But again, I'm worried. What do you guys think?
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's in good hands. I like the director's work. I know the Atomic Blonde was split for people.
It was.
I thought the action was amazing.
It was amazing, yeah.
And I enjoyed the look of it. So I think, if anything, we're going to get some pretty badass action in this film. And you kind of be disappointed with that.
Yeah, well, I can, because I'm a Deadpool fan.
Well, also, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of comedy as well.
Yeah, for sure. Heather?
I loved the first one, and I have zero frame of reference for Deadpool before the first movie, and it was just so much fun. And I had went in there with no expectations, so it was very enjoyable.
So go again with no expectations.
Yeah, but I mean, I know I feel like the comedy's going to be there. It's going to be fun action. So for me, especially with nothing that I'm expecting it to live up to, there's no way for me to be disappointed with this. I feel like it's just going to be a fun time at the movies.
I hope so. I really do.
Yeah, if you go with no expectations, I think you'll enjoy this.
I think we find that that's the rule for everything, huh?
Yeah,
that is true. Or if you go with lowered expectations, you could be pleasantly surprised.
That's not true. That's how I went in watching Star Wars, and I still was bored by the whole thing. So
moving on to something exciting.
There it is.
So it's been since it came out a couple weeks ago, but we didn't get to talk about it. We
have
to talk about it.
Dan's been waiting to talk about this.
The official Avengers Infinity War trailer, what came out a week ago. over a week ago.
Yeah.
And I thought it was amazing. That was so good.
How many times have you watched the trailer, Dan?
Oh.
Like just a guess.
Just a guess.
Rough
Yeah,
guess.
rough estimate.
Infinity Time?
Oh,
Okay,
that's cheesy.
But
That's a good answer.
He still watched it like 5 minutes ago and was
did.
jumping up and down.
He's like, oh my god, look at that! Oh my god,
It's
look at that!
so cool.
I mean-
the trailer itself, they don't need to do much. They could just show like Tony Stark, looking at the camera and smiling, and
That's not true.
we'll get excited.
That's
for it.
not true. We already talked about how terrible his
No, it was
Twitter
great.
page is doing.
It was great. And so, just to see glimpses. I don't want to see any more stuff though. I want to be like
I think we're
pleasantly
good.
surprised
I think we're good at this
in the
point.
trailer.
Yeah.
In the theater. I already bought my tickets.
Yeah, of
so
course
I
you
am
did.
excited to watch
I should
this.
probably
I cannot
get
wait.
my tickets.
Any
too.
surprises for you, Dan, from the trailer that you saw?
I thought, just the crossovers. Those are what I'm like super excited for. To see there's a scene where Doctor Strange and he's using his magic, and Star-Lord is jumping over. It looks amazing. This is like a lot of the crossover stuff looks amazing.
Yeah,
Like, I'm really excited for
see,
it.
I don't like that, but I do like the relationship stuff that we saw in the trailer. So you get to see Star-Lord be a total dick to
Iron
Tony
Man?
Stark, the total dick of the universe, and they're just like having a dick off, and they're literally, I think that's what's gonna be called. And so like it's really fun watching those two interact, because you know that like the two bigger egos in the universe can't survive, and so it'd be fun just to watch them bounce off each other.
I also
And
want to
just-
see all the science people too, like
But, yeah.
Tony Stark with Shuri.
Oh,
with,
for
with
sure,
Bruce
yeah.
Banner with.
But the way
Doctor
that
Strange.
and the great part is like you get to see Spider-Man's reaction, who's like us in the audience going like, look, it's Star-Lord and Iron Man making fun of each other. You could tell that the actor is just
he's
having a ball.
Spider-Man is a fanboy within us all.
Yeah, I think you get to see that captured, but also the action looks amazing. You get to see an updated CGI pass of like the whole fight. This actually looks like Civil War, with the actual like a lot of people fighting, which is awesome. You can see that Wakanda is going to be the center of the biggest fight, which is like right out of the comic books, which is awesome.
Yeah.
And so it's just going to be like amazing to watch this at the biggest screen possible. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want
Super
to like,
Would this-
hype it up.
Would this
It's
be
already
one of-
hyped.
That's true.
Would this be one of those few movies you'd be willing to see in 4D?
No.
See?
No, you know the answer to that. The answer is no. No, not 3D, not 4D, just 2D in a regular theater.
Oh,
How about
at
IMAX?
Cinemas. Oh, well, sure. Okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with
All right.
IMAX is a good format.
You did say the biggest screen ever.
that would be an IMAX.
Possible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't do
IMAX
3D?
3D.
No, not ever. Absolutely not.
Yes.
Yes. And 4D
Interesting.
afterwards.
We
Yeah,
we can talk
that's
about this later, but I have been outspoken about how much I hate 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Yeah.
But are you excited, Heather, for the film?
Yeah, I am. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not like a huge comic book nerd. I enjoy all these movies. Like, I loved Wonder Woman. Oh my God. I've had
DC.
fun. I'm just saying.
That's DC. No, I'm just kidding.
In
What was that?
general, a van.
I'm kidding. I'm
Touchy
kidding.
much. But I loved Avengers, and the films I've seen, I always like them. So I'm excited. But I have I have nothing to compare it to.
Yeah.
Our
I'm just
audience
enjoying
member, Michael, are you excited? Give a shout out or a shout.
Yes, very excited.
He just said-
No reference point. You've seen how the Marvel movies.
Oh.
Well,
They are now having an argument off camera.
Oh wait, how did you describe Star-Lord and Tony Stark? It was like the drunk uncle.
Yeah, like what was it?
It was good.
This is
Think of
great.
it.
This is great podcasting right here.
Yeah. It was funny, but I don't remember what it was. Neither does he. So never mind.
Yeah, and what nobody knows because nobody can see him is he's naked right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, again, this is
That's-
just
That's the rule to be in the
Yes.
audience.
You have to be naked so you can't kill us.
He agreed.
Funny enough,
Thank
that
you.
was Z's rule. Mike, you excited for the movie?
Hey, it's Mike's
Yeah.
house.
Yeah. Anything goes. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited for the movie. It looks fun. I'm not as you know what? Just from the trailer, the special effects look amazing. I think that alone is just worth checking out.
Price
the
of
movie.
admission.
Yes, and it'll be fun to see all of that on the big screen.
Also excited that it will be our premiere episode when we come back for
Oh,
our
yeah.
summer blockbuster season.
Yeah, because they've
So stay
messed
tuned
it
for
up.
that.
They've closed in our vacation time.
It's okay.
Yeah.
If anyone can do it, Marvel can do it.
Yeah, of course you would say that.
So Mike,
How much are they paying you, Dan?
Mike, yeah,
He's paying them.
Would I still be on this show if I got paid by Marvel? Come on.
Yes.
No.
Yes, you would.
Mike, you have a story news?
Yeah, I do have news. So Regal, they have
Not Rego.
not Regal.
Thank you.
Regal
There it
theaters,
is. Okay.
Regal cinemas. For some of you guys that aren't aware of it, they have these things called Fathom events where they have special screenings. So if you enjoy anime, they're actually having a Studio Ghibli Fest 2018, which is they're gonna have Ponyo, The Cat Returns, Porco Rosso, Pompoko, or that's Pompoko, Princess Mononoke, Grave of the Fireflies, My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, and Castle in the Sky.
All right.
So
Now Howl's
Heather-
Moving Castle.
So excited.
Yes.
So excited.
But
and-
yeah, I mean, that's really exciting. I love Studio Ghibli movies.
And so it's actually going to be a Studio Ghibli month. So this month, right now, in the beginning of April's Ponyo, and then it's going to go on with all the other films I just listed.
That's cool.
Sweet.
When
Weekly?
does it go on? Because I saw I was excited about Porco Rosso, and that's like May. Something.
Yeah, that's May 20th.
So it's every week, right?
No,
One every week.
No, it'll be 3 days a month. 3 days of screening this one particular film for that month.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
So which I'm looking forward to.
That would be
So-
cool if they did like a marathon thing where it's like they just repeat it. So Monday is one, Tuesday, so on and so on.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so on.
yeah, yeah. So
And they just repeat right over. But yeah, this sounds fantastic. And
And you know, I like the Phantom events. I think they do a great job. I
Yeah.
always like
Yeah.
to watch the stuff that they have there.
especially for folks who haven't actually gotten to see big films in cinema, this is a good experience of re-experiencing that, or just experience it for the first time. Because I would love to see all of these in theaters. Like that sounds so much fun. And when they first came out, I missed the train. So the fact that, and I think you said that they were the subtitle, right, Heather?
Yeah, well, like, so I don't know, 6 months ago they had My Neighbor Totoro in theaters, and I grew up on that film. I loved it, but I'd never seen it in Japanese with subtitles. And you had the option. They had showings that were in English or in Japanese. So
Yeah,
you could
they-
pick.
yeah.
But I was like, if I'm gonna go see it in theaters,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see it with subtitles, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, and I think for people with small attention spans, low attention spans, that's much better. Like me, I would rather see that movie with subtitles in a theater because I won't get distracted by my phone.
Side note:
Yes.
over the weekend, I went to WonderCon and I saw Batman Ninja, and I saw it was the English version, and I think it was good. I enjoyed it, but I think it's a takeout because it's only available in home video.
Oh,
So
Dun-dum.
it's
so it's on
It's automatic.
so it's an
takeout.
automatic takeout. Okay.
But I think I would have enjoyed it more if it was in Japanese and English subtitles.
That's a great way of you plugging that you
Yeah.
want to WonderCon.
Yeah, WonderCon. Woo! On that note, we're gonna go ahead and move on to our movie review. The first one is gonna be Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. That's a great way of you plugging that you want WonderCon.
On that note, we're gonna go. All right, Z, take it over. You're the host. I have seen both.
Oh, no,
films.
actually, it's Mike
Oh,
who's doing
Michael.
this
Hot
one.
potato. Actually, it's Dan.
Oh.
I want to do it.
Heather's
All
the
right,
host.
We'll give it to Heather.
Yay.
She's the host. All right, the movie we're reviewing today is Tomb Raider, directed by Roar Utag, written by Geneva Robertson, Duoret, and Alistair Siddons. The movie stars Alicia Vikander, Dominic West, Walton Goggins, and Daniel Wu. Here's the plot. I will give you the plot right now. I promise.
Perfect.
I promise.
Oh,
the plot
good,
is
good
coming.
setup. Good
We are
setup.
on our A game today.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm holding the hosting duties,
Yeah.
and I'm not giving them back. It's like a fumble. The ball's like
It
fumbling,
literally is just
and
fumbling. I
then
can
dive,
see it.
and
I can
then-
see it
and
going
then
right now.
catch it. So
Yeah.
Laura Croft is the fiercely independent daughter of an eccentric adventurer who vanished when she was scarcely a teen. This is pretty long. I'm just gonna bypass
Yeah, do you want me to
that.
do it? I got it.
Oh, no. You
Laura
do- you do-
Croft, the fiercely independent daughter. I think it's the same one. No,
You know, Tommy is judging you guys from behind.
Yeah.
Just-
hey,
just so you know.
Tommy.
Yeah.
Hi,
And then,
Mike.
and then he could throw plastic spoons at me, and
There you
we're
go.
good. All right, now depending on your review,
All right, I'll read it. Laura, the fiercely
No, let
independent.
Mike read it. He's hosting
Yeah,
it.
I'm-
He
Stop
said he's
it.
holding
He's
on
just
to
jumping
the
it.
duty.
Just
I'm
stop.
grabbing onto the ball. All right. Now, depending on your review, I'll decide if this movie. Who doesn't know about Tomb Raider? Who Tomb Raider
I
is?
didn't know about Tomb
So,
Raider
well,
until I
she's-
saw
so
this
she's-
movie.
You know, she's an archaeologist that ends up fighting magical things.
But she's not necessarily an archaeologist.
She's not in this movie, so that's the important thing about this movie. Anyways, continue with your.
It's Lara Croft's origin story.
Yeah, just do the setup and we'll talk about the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, depending on your review, we'll decide if this movie's worth a dine-in, watch it in theaters, take out, wait and watch it at home, or leftovers, get buried in a tomb. There you go. Okay. Now depending on your now if you
well, it's been over a week. Should we keep it spoiler free or
let's keep it spoiler free.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think there's spoilers to be found in this movie.
Yeah. So if you convince me, then you'll get a point. Cool. There you go. And then whoever has the most points at the end of the season will do a segment. Okay. Eventually, one of these days.
One of these days.
Yeah. Or we'll
at the end of the season, I think, usually, right?
Yeah. So rate this movie. We'll start with our guest, Heather.
I'm going to give it a takeout.
Takeout. All right. Wait, watch it at home.
Also, I'll give it a takeout.
All right.
And I'm going to give it a soft dine-in.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
I really... Actually, again, low expectations. I went in with low expectations, and I came out.
You just said that you don't do that, but go on.
And I came out. I said I did it for Star Wars, and that's why I didn't like Star Wars.
Moving on.
Thank you.
Moving on.
I went in expecting a really bad movie. I think this movie suffered from a lot of bad reviews because it said that it was like a terrible CGI, terrible this, terrible that. And honestly, I thought it was a much more grounded character story. It really told a story of Lara Croft trying to figure out her way in the world, and I could connect. I was like, all right, I'm on board. I want to see what she goes through, so that by the end, I was actually happy to experience the journey with her.
Okay. I 100% agree with everything that you just said. I really related to her. I've never seen any of the other Tomb Raider films. I've never played any of the games, so this was a completely new experience for me. I was actually really impressed with how grounded this character was, and it's her origin story, so she didn't start out as this like superpower. She's not, and she even said it in the trailer, like, I'm not a superhero. She wasn't even like this is a mini spoiler, but the very first scene, she's in a boxing match. Yeah. And she's losing terribly. Yep. I mean, she has fighting experience. She is a badass.
She's quite fit.
Yeah,
because you get a shot of her abs.
She's very fit.
Throughout the film, you see her fuck up a lot.
Yeah. Like, and she relies on luck. I mean, but you watch her experience that luck. Yeah. She's like, oh my God, this is going really bad. And then like, whoo, and you can see that she actually realizes how lucky she just was.
Yeah, and she's thinking, like I would say, she deserves a dine-in, I guess.
That's what I'm saying.
She
she sold this movie. But go ahead.
I think this movie's 100% worth watching. Watch it. Not worth seeing it in theaters.
There's nothing that you get from watching it in theaters as well.
And if you do watch it in theaters, do not watch it in 3D. I don't know. I'm agreeing with you here.
Don't watch the movies in 3D.
It actually was detrimental.
Oh.
Why was it so
for
bad?
instance, the boxing scene, which was like the first scene, right?
Sure.
The way it was filmed, the camera was completely stationary, so the background, I could see everything perfectly clearly. Now they're boxing in front of me in 3D, and I can't tell what's happening. They're just moving around so fast. Like
So it just looks like
I was
a big
literally
blur.
like, it was hurting my eyes.
So, by the way, that's actually the reason why I dislike 3D, because I would always get a headache from it because the camera moves too fast.
But that's when it's filmed poorly.
Exactly.
It depends on how you film it.
Well, no, if it's
though,
native in 3D, that's when it's not filmed native in 3D. Go ahead, Dan.
Funny enough, I actually did not see this movie in 3D.
Surprised.
It's not
very surprising.
I'm happy that you didn't.
Did you like? I mean, okay, so you didn't like it.
So the only thing, the main thing that I didn't enjoy about the film is that everything again. I wanted more from Laura. So from Lara, I should say, not Laura.
Really?
Lara. In a sense, like in the game, in the origin story, you see her surviving. You see her. I didn't feel like there was enough of that in the wilderness.
I'll give you that. So, but there is enough in this movie that you actually see her humanity in a way that you don't see it in a lot of different movies, where like you see her get injured, you see her dealing with the wound. You see,
and it was actually a real wound.
Yes.
Like I appreciated that so much.
Yeah.
Is it a spoiler to talk more about the wound?
Well, it just she actually
gets hurt. And
and
you kind of
it's
see
actually painful.
Yeah,
and she actually has to deal with it, and then it stays with her. It's not like
it doesn't magically go away.
Yeah, I hate that.
Like she starts running, and then like once she stops, you see her like limping again, going like, "Oh damn, I screwed myself up."
And she's limping when she's running.
Which
like,
is which is kind of like the actual
But-
video game.
but
Yeah,
I also
exactly.
like that there's consequences in the sense like there's a part I don't want. There's this. I'm just gonna mention there's a part in the plane, and I was thinking like, oh, that's bad, and then something would happen, and then I was like, well, I hope this happens. I can't talk about it because
Yeah, you can't talk about it. But
Well,
But it was more. It was believable. Almost like
okay.
like I was like, okay, if this happens, then this should happen.
yeah.
Okay.
And,
So
it,
it's kind
and
of,
it did happen.
So it's like
But that's the kind of-
realistic
That's good.
events.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Well, but those are the kind of moments that I was talking about her realizing how lucky she was or how
Yeah.
screwed she was. That she wasn't.
But she had to
just-
do a lot of quick thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's very smart and she's very physically fit, so
Yeah.
that's what got her out of these situations. But you really feel with her what's happening.
Yeah.
Especially there's the one scene.
Yeah.
It was like a first big.
I think you could talk about that scene if that's the one you're thinking about, because it's in the trailer, so you can't actually spoil something that's in the
I
trailer.
don't remember the trailer. And
So the first kill.
yeah, okay.
Okay, the first kill, you actually see her struggle. One, amazing, because you don't get like, you don't get a badass Lara Croft from like the old movies. You get a Lara Croft that's trying to figure out what the hell to do, and she's clearly against an adversary that she's got no way of beating.
And she doesn't want to kill him.
Yes, and you see the kill happen, and then you see her, and I agree with that. They should have spent a little more time on that, but you see her sit with the kill and be like, "Oh shit, I just did this."
Well, I also like that while she's which I've always thought, like when you're giving someone a chokehold, that takes a really long time in real life.
Yeah.
Okay, it bothers me in film or TV that it just like
Because
oh,
she's
he's passed
killed.
out and
Heather
that's
has
it.
killed people.
Yeah, but I've spent
takes
I've
them like 20 takes you like 20
legitimately
minutes to-
spent time thinking about this and how I've thought about how would I feel.
You've thought about murdering
Yes,
people? Okay.
not in real life, but like what if me versus them, like my life or theirs? How would I actually
Yeah.
feel in this situation? How hard would it be? Could I actually do it? I don't know if I could,
Yeah.
but
I believe in you, Heather.
but watching her, she's got him in a chokehold, and you can see her terrified. And is this gonna work? And I don't know what's happening. You're experiencing all these emotions with her while it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he finally does die, and then he drowns, which made it faster.
And wow, that was also kind of like dying in a small pool. But continue.
But if she had to choke him out, it would have taken 10
Yeah.
minutes.
But
you
see,
know?
that's the problem I have with the film, though.
Really?
It's the villains.
The
It's-
villains were terrible.
they're
Okay.
terrible.
I was gonna get there.
They
Yeah.
were really bad.
The
They
villains were.
So Laura Croft.
Hold on.
Lara Croft-
The
Wait, can I
villains
finish my
were
point really
Marvel.
quick, though?
But anyway, go ahead.
Oh, just the end, her aftermath of killing someone, like you said.
Yeah.
I really appreciated how human it was and how relatable it was.
Yes.
That was my point.
Yes, I agree with all that.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, so Walter Goggins plays the villain in this film, and he usually plays a great villain when
Does
he
he?
when he does play viins. Yeah.
Does he?
He was great
No,
in
no.
In what? In
Which
what?
one? Name one. Name one where he wasn't.
Shut the fuck up, and I will. In American Ultra, he was great in American Ultra.
I didn't see
yeah,
American
that's
Ultra.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
he was like
Wait.
the Joker in
Oh,
American Ultra.
American Ultra? But
Yeah.
please, he played a goddamn
was-
typical villain. Are you kidding me? He played a psychotic villain, but he was
He
still
did-
a regular
he did,
villain.
He did it great though.
He was way more human in this than American Ultra.
No, he was just like
No,
not menacing. Like no.
I don't think there was a menacing bone in his body. He just was doing what he needed
I
to
think
do.
that's what I mean. Like he was trying to be menacing.
Was he like the villain in like Jumanji or something? Or
No,
like super
no,
cartoony,
nothing
or?
like that. It was nothing like that at
No,
all.
it was kind of archetype.
There was an archetype, but there
oh.
was a reason why he was
Okay.
being villainous. He was just doing a job, which is kind of what I enjoyed about his character. He was just doing his goddamn job,
That's the
and he
only thing.
and he didn't want to be there, and he didn't want to do this. So he was turning into a murderer. He was turning into one of those people. And so, okay, first of all, you're right. The villains in this film, right? The people that Lara Croft, after this one amazing kill happens, she just knocks them off left and right, because that's, again, in the trailer. So it goes typical Lara Croft. But I think Goggins' character, the way that he's presented, is the guy who's like a bureaucrat. He doesn't want to be there. He just has a job. He just wants to
he's
go.
a mercenary.
He just wants to go home.
Okay.
He's
And
a
I thought that was
mercenary.
cool.
And it's just like, I don't know. If you want to see the hero like go through a challenge, the nature was more challenging than the actual villain.
Yes.
So I see.
So-
So, it's her situation.
So her growth was more of what battling the nature
Yeah.
part,
Yes.
as opposed to like what I want to see. There's like a part where she's like in silence walking through the camp and like spying on everyone,
Yeah.
which is like almost like a video game move.
It
where
was a
where you
lot
would-
of
which is
sneaking
like in the
around.
video game. There's a part where you have to like sneak through and not be heard.
Uh-huh.
And so I want to see more stuff like that. It
Do
would've been
you
cool.
think this film would have benefited without the villain even being in there, where it was.
Oh, you
more
didn't even
of
know
just,
who
like,
the bad guys were?
situations. Or
I
No,
mean,
you didn't so.
I feel like presented differently. The introduction to this bad guy was awkward
It
as
was
all
really
hell.
yeah,
Really
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
And
I'll give it
the
that.
thing that bothered me the most is like right after their first interaction, she kind of like stumbles away from him out of the tent, and she sees like the campsite, and then she's taking it in for a second, and then another guy just grabs her and puts her like ties her hands up. Is like, how did you guys have a conversation
Yeah.
before this?
That's true.
About
I'll give you
so
that.
I'm gonna scare her, and then she's gonna stumble out of here, but be a little ways away from the tent because then you can grab her and like what?
Yeah.
I
It just
see.
it made it was forced.
It was like a
their
director.
interaction.
Told them to do this.
I
see.
I
It was
agree with that.
very much.
Here's something that I actually also enjoyed about this Tomb Raider versus the previous Tomb Raiders. There was
Oh, no,
no.
this one, I would say this one is better than the other two.
Yeah, and
Okay.
I would say even at that, like in comparison to the video games, there's no supernatural element whatsoever in this.
Okay.
It's a real film. It's
Okay.
a real film, and it's not trying to do that stupid Michael Fassbender film. It's
Assassin's Creed.
It's not doing Assassin's Creed. It's not doing Warcraft. You know that it's playing in its
It's
own.
the female Indiana Jones.
Yeah, it really is.
But even more like because even in Indiana Jones, there's some mystical.
There is mystical stuff. Yeah,
spiritual
you're right.
elements to it.
So this one
In-
absolutely
in
avoids
Tomb
all.
Raider,
that.
I thought they were gonna go there.
Yeah,
I
I
thought
was gonna ask, did they take that out of these films?
Yeah,
so
I
the
thi-
spiritual / magical elements.
Yeah.
Even in the video games, like
Well,
you don't
well, I wouldn't
even
say-
see that till the very end.
I wouldn't say that completely. Like,
Okay.
you have to watch the film in order
To
to
understand.
Get to
And it's
understand.
actually that's kind of a part of the plot line a little bit, especially like the struggle between her
Yeah.
and her father's character because she's going through his notes and everything, and any interaction between her
Okay.
and her dad's
It's like a ghost
what's
visit or
happening.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
but
Yeah.
they're
But there's like
Alright.
an actual like.
but wait, but the point is that it's a debate between them because he believes in the spirituality part of it and she doesn't believe in magic or these kind of things. So that's actually a running theme.
Got it.
So I was like, which way are they going with this? Like,
I
who's gonna
see.
be right?
Yeah.
So
Okay,
that's interesting.
interesting.
I liked it. I really enjoyed the movie.
Alright.
But also, just again, if you're gonna watch this film, you're gonna watch it for Alicia Vikander. I think what she did in Ex Machina was amazing, and seeing her in this just shows you that she's ready for the American audiences.
So it sounds like she knocked this one out of the park in terms of her performance and leading this film.
Yeah, but I also wanted like the tomb. So obviously it's called Tomb Raider. So they go into the.
They
Are
tomb.
there any tombs?
There is a tomb.
All right.
Also, like besides that, like I'm like in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, how they
Okay.
go like there's a mystery being to be solved,
Yes.
and there are mysteries.
Okay.
But for a movie called Tomb Raider, I wish there was more time in the tomb and more puzzles to be solved.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
it was.
For a movie called Star Wars, I wish they spent more time in the stars.
They did. They were the whole
Hey,
movie was
hey,
in the stars.
there should have
What are
been
you
a
talking
war.
about?
So would you say that some of the backlash of this film was just because it has the stigma of being a video game movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Why
think
it's
that's
getting
it.
so much hate?
It's not terrible at all.
Okay.
It's
It's a watchable film. It's just you don't need to watch it in theaters.
Got it.
I
So
agree.
so is this film like the turnaround for video game films?
It's in the right direction.
It's in
for
the
sure.
right direction, and I think
Okay.
this is what we expected that again Michael Fassbender terrible film to do.
Honestly, I could have dealt with like 30 minutes more.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You think would
No.
that have made it a dine-in for you?
It probably would have been a dynamic.
Well,
Like
what was
in,
it
in
miss-
the tomb in like the
If
the
they spent
mystery-
more
her,
time
her
in the
surviving
tomb.
in the wilderness, seeing her grow into the woman that we know as video game fans of Tomb Raider, become the Lara Croft, and we see her evolution in that, and then spend time like 15 minutes in the wilderness or 10 minutes in the wilderness more, and then like 20 minutes in the tomb. I think like it would have been like, oh my god.
Got it. So
For
they were
me.
they were just missing that last
You know-
climactic.
Tomb.
This is
Tomb.
you know
Yeah.
what bothered me from like I guess a woman's perspective. All I could think. By the way, she's the only woman on this island. There's not another female, and all I could think was like this movie is not rapey enough.
Oh, but it
In this
it
sense-
gets close to it.
But
yeah.
she's like,
But you're right.
even from the
Need
moment.
more rape.
No, but even like the
vibe-
That was
yeah,
weird.
yeah.
the
But yes.
concern of that
Yeah.
as a woman, like just. There wasn't enough reference to that at all, or like I didn't see her worry about that. I didn't see that as any possible conflict. The only thing was one of the guards was like oh hey, and I'm like okay, there's a female
You were
presence
like,
here.
"There's
There's a
the-"
vagina. Like everyone on this island hasn't seen one of those in like 7 years. Okay, like there should be a lot more interest. I don't know.
I see. Okay.
It just I feel like
This
they
All right.
That's a topic
the
only you can
realism.
The female perspective.
That's a topic only you can speak for, and I'm glad
I
you
would
are
be-
here for that.
I would that's the first thought. I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen here?
You're like, damn it.
that's my first worry. Like, am I gonna die? I'm like, okay, how
Have you
rapey
watched
is
Game of
this?
Thrones?
Yes.
Cersei's speech of, we're in for a little raping. It's like that. Yeah.
But it
That was
wasn't
season
no,
one.
it wasn't
It
that.
wasn't that.
Oh yeah, it wasn't that.
It was very the
That's
PG.
season 1 of Game of Thrones, episode 8.
Are there?
So that ends our review for Game
Oh no,
of
season
Thrones.
2. I'm sorry, season 2. It was season 2. It was the
So let's
Blackwater.
go back to
Yeah.
Tomb Raider.
Are there any
Episode 9, by the way.
Any final
Correction.
things you want to mention for the film?
I think, Alicia Vikander was
sum
good.
it up?
I do hope there's a sequel to this
Mhm.
film.
Yeah.
So they
Uh,
set it up for it. I mean,
But in the sense like that studio will actually make it. 'Cause I
yeah.
don't know if this movie made a lot of money, so I don't know if it's gonna warrant a sequel. But I kind of hope it does, because
Okay.
you know what, I will say though, there was a lot of positive female influence and
Yeah.
positive female empowerment, because she was a badass.
She was.
Kinda, why weren't there any girl villains?
Yeah.
Like I said, an entire island of men. Like, why couldn't one of the henchmen with a machine gun been a chick? Just
one woman
Got it.
on the island being
Something.
menacing.
Like, why is a film with a strong, amazing female lead have no other women in it?
Well,
Yeah.
no,
Okay.
that's
That's a
not
good
true.
point.
That's not true.
No,
Are you talking about
No.
the boxing
No.
match in
no,
the beginning?
no,
Yeah,
no.
the boxing match.
I'm going to
Th-
cut
this-
Dan off. He's going to
no.
spoil this movie.
Heather?
Yes.
Any?
'Cause I know where you're going with that.
Any
Yeah.
last
I know
things you
where
wanna
you're going with
mention?
it too, but it's like 85% of the movie does
No,
not
I
have
know.
enough
I
chicks
know.
in it.
I know.
I know what
Yeah.
you're saying.
I know. I get what you're saying.
Do
no one
you,
else
Dan?
gets what we're
No-
saying.
yeah, nobody else does. Anyways, Heather, final words?
Like I said, definitely worth watching. It was a fun movie, but I don't think it warrants going to the theaters. It wasn't. The graphics weren't amazing enough to have to see it on a big screen.
Did she fight any cougars or bears?
No.
That's just
Why
Ah.
are
watch it and see, Mike.
See?
Just no.
like I said, Alicia Vikander carries this movie, and while I will generously agree with you guys that it's not a theatrical film, it is still a very good film that rolls on the heels of Wonder Woman, in that it gives you a central character that's a woman who is being a badass. And I think with that being said, that is still the price of admission to a theater. Support this film. We want more films like this out there. And on top of that, honestly, I just had a damn good time. It was just a really fun movie.
What was the one thing? Is there anything in particular that sold it for you, Z?
Just that first kill did it for me. I saw that and I was like, that was the equivalent of watching a 1980s film, like one of those like Rambo films where like you see the first kill and you're just kind of like, yeah, all right.
Okay.
Like I can picture Alicia Vikander being like this wilderness badass, and I was like, all right, I'm in for this.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I think I've heard enough. All right. I think I'm gonna rate this a dine-in.
I feel like we need like music, like a little something. Like,
A jingle.
yeah, and I don't know. It's like not a drum roll, but like a.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
Well, he's
too
already-
close.
He would give it away.
It's too late.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
There you go.
Yeah. No. So yeah, I think this is gonna be a dine-in specifically for Alicia Vikander's performance.
Hey,
So-
I finally get a point.
So I
You quit,
get
Mike.
you guys why
You're
would
fired.
Disappoint.
no the Alicia Vikander she's just
Yeah, you
amazing
you
actress.
You love her.
she's an amazing
she
actress.
was really good. It was
Yeah.
good, and I really did enjoy her performance.
and
Yeah.
and I get the difference as Dan was mentioning earlier as far as supporting this film in theaters, how far that'll take it, and I think for the sake of that, and like I think it does need that theater support. So that
But now they take account to the downloads also, renting it.
That's true.
Oh, really?
Vote,
Yeah, so-
vote with your
Yeah.
wallet, guys. Vote with your
Okay.
wallet. Go watch
So-
Tomb Raider.
so
It's worth
So you
it.
can watch it in
Not in
theaters
3D.
or as long
But
as it's
not
on
in
Netflix.
3D. Yes.
It's not worth
Okay.
it.
If they rented it, they take account of that.
Yeah, so
All
it's
right.
now the same as like like DVD sales back in the day. So now
Okay,
it's
so-
digital downloads.
So watch it in
digital
theaters
downloads.
and rent it as well for specifically for Alicia Vikander's performance.
Yeah, and
I
we
feel
didn't.
like you were biased from the beginning.
No, I wasn't. I mean, it depends because I really liked Michael Fassbender, and especially when
That's
we saw
true.
Jobs, I was like, that's amazing. He's in Assassin's Creed,
Yeah.
and then after I saw it, I was like, well, what happened?
We're not saying its name.
Which
though.
is it's funny
Yeah.
because you talk. So Kaylee mentioned that Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander are married together. So it's funny that you keep
I
on bringing
Oh,
that up.
that's true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They talked. She did talk about how they were
Actually,
talking.
there's a couple
about
people that have commented. Alexis Gaines says she loves your purse, Heather.
Oh, thanks.
Sean had a sad face, and I'll go into that for the next film because he commented about the next film.
Got it.
And Alexis Gaines also mentioned like women villains Asian, like the one from the Bruce Willis movie, the Die Hard one.
Oh, was that Die
Sure.
Hard? 4.
Four.
That was 4.
Or 5.
Yeah.
I think 5.
Yeah.
Oh, 4.
It was 4. No, they
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah. The 5th one was the one with the sun. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So we have a dine-in for Tomb Raider. Let's go ahead and move on to our review for Pacific Rim Uprising. And I'm going to toss the host of the injuries over to Z for this one.
All
No,
right.
over to Mike.
I'll wing
Mike,
it
are you
again.
ready?
Scum, I'm ready. I'm ready for anything.
I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Z.
All right. The movie we're reviewing is Pacific Rim Uprising, or as I call it, Rim Job Uprising. All right. Directed by Stephen S. DeKnight. Written by Stephen S. DeKnight and Emily Carmichael. Starring John Boyega, Scott Eastwood, Kaylee Spaney, Charlie Day, and Tian Jing, and Jin Zhang. There we go. All right. Here's the plot.
Like, I don't know what just happened.
I had to, well, this is all of Dan's inclusion. So here's the plot. Jake Pentecost, son of Stacker Pentecost, and I believe he was Idris Elba's character.
Yes, he was.
Reunites with Mako Mori to lead a new generation of Jaeger pilots, including rival Lambert and 15-year-old hacker Amara.
15. We
We had a long debate about how old she was.
It's 15. It says it here on the synopsis.
They do mention it in the beginning.
There we go.
We did guess between 15 and 17.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah,
Why? Against a new kaiju threat. All right, guys. Now, who's seen this movie?
Right here.
All right. So the Three Musketeers. Now, depending on your spoiler for your review, because I don't want to hear no spoilers. Not that I'm interested in watching it. I will decide if this movie is worth a dine-in, watch it in theaters, a takeout, watch it at home, or a leftovers. Just watch the original. It was really good. All right. Now, whoever. Okay. Or do you want like an actual kaiju one? Or jump into a kaiju's mouth as it
Okay.
blows flames into you and destroys you.
Okay, sure.
Now, whoever wins this.
I don't think that's the thing that kaiju does, but go on.
No, that's from a.
That's like Godzilla.
That's like a dragon movie that I once saw that was really cool. All right.
Go on.
Yes,
He
thank
just
you.
step on you or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, step on.
Get stepped on by a kaiju.
There you go.
It's an
There you go.
insignificant ant.
Or
Accurate,
Jaeger.
yeah. What was
Or
it?
Jaeger.
Or
yeah.
Jaeger.
Or Jaeger.
Because apparently they don't care.
They don't give a shit. Well, that was established in the first movie, too. Now, whoever wins will earn a point, and whoever has the most points at the end of the season will develop a segment that will air at the end of the segment. So, Heather's, again, I guess we didn't mention this, but since you are our guest, you get to either choose the point or roll it over for the next season until you earn enough points to purchase yourself.
Episode 752.
Yes. But you'll be able to purchase yourself a torta.
Oh.
Not horchata, but just a torta.
Or a segment.
Or a
a
segment.
segment,
Yes, there's
yeah.
also, but you probably want the torta.
Yeah. Well, actually, horchata.
All right. Okay.
We're getting sponsored.
One
by,
or the other, though, so you can't get both. All right. Well, with that being said,
Before we start with that,
ruin it for me.
No, the commenter,
Oh,
Shauna Garris said the movie was terrible.
okay. Well, hold on. Now,
His opinion
rate this
does not
movie.
matter.
What does Shauna say?
Sean,
What does
Shauna
Sean
Garris-
say?
He said the movie was terrible.
So he gives it a leftovers. Thank you, Sean. All right. Now, rate this film.
Heather?
Dine in.
All the way dine in.
Dine in.
You like hardcore Jaeger bomb dine in.
I'm. It's not like, oh my god, this is the greatest movie ever,
Okay.
but it was really fun and worth watching in theaters for the graphics
Interesting.
and the experience.
All right, Dan.
Well, I saw the movie with Heather yesterday, so I say dine in as well. It was a fun movie.
So she was whooping and you were whooping along with her as
I was
well.
hollering.
Hollering. Okay,
And
gotcha.
eating popcorn. We were
And-
eating popcorn.
It was eating popcorn.
All right.
It was a fun film.
All right,
was.
and Mike.
This film delivers on what it set out to do. Dine in as well.
Wow. I'm not going to give any of you points. Okay, no.
Screw off.
like Sean gets the point.
I think Sean, do you want to be invited to the show? Let's get you on here real quickly.
I do have to mention I've never seen the first one.
Are you?
What?
Yeah.
You're off the island. Sean, get in on this. Sean, come on, jump on here. All right, so why should I care about this movie? Guillermo del Toro was no longer on this.
But he produced it.
That's not the same, but go ahead.
No, but he helped with I think he helped with the story development. But this movie continues on from the first film. It takes place 10 years after Pacific Rim, and the way that they introduce the storyline, I thought was really, really entertaining, and the characters are also interesting. There's not 100% depth with every single character, but the ones that like Charlie Day's character is great. John Boyega's character is great. The girl hacker is great.
What's her name?
I was just thinking that.
Amara.
Whatever.
It's Amara.
Okay, I didn't see it. You did. But anyways, continue.
Wait, what's the actress's name though?
Kaylee Spaney?
Yeah, Kaylee Spaney. There you go,
yeah. So the only one that was probably the weakest link was Scott Eastwood, but
right, because Hollywood's trying to make him into a star. But
no, he's the new Jack Courtney.
Yeah, actually, that's a very good comparison. Okay, so
I see that, yeah.
All right, so what we set out to watch,
or Sam Worthington.
What we set out to watch is the action. How is the action?
It's great. So the first thing that you think of when you think of Pacific Rim is
Pacific Rim. By the way, you just said that, and I am
Pacific Rim top.
It's like
we found the adult version.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah, that's
Triple X.
So somebody make a porn. Don't sign. Make sure that Mike gets copyrighted for it.
Wait, do we
copyright Mike Stan 2018?
Did we see the right movie?
There's a lot of
was this an adult theater? Like, what were people doing next to you?
So this is why you wanted
the 21 and over movie, right?
So this is why you wanted Michael naked in the audience to choose in this movie. It all makes sense.
Exactly.
All right, the action. Continue.
Ton of action.
Both movies, the actions are great in both. No, so this film, when you think of Pacific Rim, when you think of Pacific Rim, you think of a giant robot fighting a giant kaiju. Right?
That's it. We all get the point.
I just ruined it. I just ruined it.
So you imagine a giant robot fighting a giant kaiju, right?
Yes, that's exactly
and then
the Triple X version of this is still working out of my head.
Then there's a weird rim job. Right? Okay, so then,
sorry,
that's okay.
Take a deep breath.
Yeah.
Go.
So, and this film, it does that, and it has a lot of flaws, as you see in the trailer. Exactly as you'd imagine, as you'd mentioned, there's a few Michael Bay-isms. I would say, not as it's. I think the trailer is actually a little misleading because I don't think there's as many as you'd imagine. So it's actually it's actually just like the Transformers. Like the plot line isn't like super original. I wouldn't praise that, but the thing I like a lot about it is that they pulled out a lot of the cheesy like kid robot or like middle school robot jokes that were in Transformers.
Good.
So it basically has these like giant robots battling as you would in Transformers without like
the whole stupid
there is
balls
some,
jokes.
There is some stupid. It's still. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like the original Pacific Rim, it still kept its like anime purposeful cheesiness. That was appreciated. Like I remember when I watched the first one. At first, I was like, "Oh my god, this movie's so cheesy," and then I realized it was intentional, and then I let myself go with it, and I was like, "Oh, this is awesome." So going into the second one, I was like, "Oh, this is awesome."
Yeah,
so,
and that's the one thing that Del Toro, he didn't actually comment on it, but it was something that was like, like subtly spoken, which was that like he was making Transformers as it should have been made.
Yeah.
So
and it definitely had that feel.
So this also feels like a continuation of that.
Again, it's not like I wouldn't say it's like the most original script or not the most original characters either. I mean, we just saw the original Transformers of another like teenage or preteen. Another teenage girl that also builds robots. I mean, we just saw that
in the last night.
I see. Okay, so you get to see a similar character like that.
But it's done way better.
Yeah, but it was as my music teacher had praised Mozart not being the originator of that style of music. just did it better, than everybody else.
Interesting.
So, and I think that's exactly what this film did. Is it?
Damn, Mike just sold this movie for me. That was really well said. That was really good. We can never say Pacific Rim ever again.
You got to say it right.
Can you just change the title of this review?
We're gonna have
some S's.
We're gonna have to like include like the triple X
So
on ours.
also, the director of this movie, he was a showrunner for Daredevil, and he directed some of the episodes.
He was a showrunner for several things. I think including the Spartan TV show. Spartacus. Yeah, he was also he's known to do live action. So actually, let's talk about that. I know the graphics are intentionally somewhat anime. But they sell you on the
Oh no, they're great.
The graphics are really good.
They're really good.
Well, I meant like positioning, like like the like the great part about Pacific Rim 1 was that like you saw the blade come out and you were like,
but you know
yes!
what? Like, there was a part I think in Pacific Rim when they like the first one, where they take the kaiju in the sky, and they're like,
that's the one.
How did they get to that?
Yeah,
he has a sword. Why didn't they use the sword from the beginning?
That was a comment.
So
to
in
which
this
the
one
answer was shut the fuck up.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah.
But this one, everything was purposeful.
Okay.
There wasn't anything that you were like, where did that come from, or how did that get there, or whatever.
Okay.
For me, it was like it worked together.
Okay. So here's the other question that I really had was like, how does this film work with its young actors? Because these are robots smacking each other. You got to believe in the actors. I know the cheesiness is intentional, but do you actually? Can you actually go on the journey?
Heather made a point.
Great.
Heather?
I don't know which one.
Oh, man, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not.
Try not to.
But the heroes of the film are international, diverse, I should say.
Yeah, that's a better one.
Yeah, they're diverse. Which is really nice.
Yeah, and it was partly of the original, right? The original had like Australia, they had America, they had China, they had Russia. I remember Russian the Jaeger bot. So they had a whole bunch of. So this movie continues that. But yeah, okay. But my question is like development as far as like characters. Like, do you believe the journeys they're on?
So I believe that because there's kind of like a little like the cadets in this version, and that's where you get Kaylee in there. She kind of becomes part of the cadets.
Amara.
Well, I meant the actress, I know. But Amara, the character. So the other secondary characters, there wasn't very much development there. I didn't ever get attached to them at all. But
there was just like one girl she was Russian, Victoria.
Yeah, the Russians were in there for a second too.
It was only because of interactions. Yeah. I didn't really care about.
No, I'm just saying like there wasn't much. The focus is Amara, John Boyega's character, and Charlie Day's character.
Okay. Not Scott Eastwood.
I mean, he's more of a supporting role.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But her character, Amara, you fall in love with her so instantaneously, and you're in love with her the whole time. She is awesome.
So she's charming, like you.
Yeah, she's great. She's adorable. She's charming. She's smart. She's badass. She's tough. Like there's just all these things. But and again, she's got flaws. It's a pretty decently fleshed out character for this type of movie.
Damn it.
So I loved her, and like there was something with her that I was really rooting for to happen, and it paid off for me.
And I said damn it only because I feel like I'm leaning towards dine in here. Is there anybody on the chat that's mentioning why I shouldn't watch this film? Come on, Sean. No. Damn it, Sean. Okay.
I feel like he commented and bailed.
I think this movie does not deserve the hate. But you know what? The first one got a lot of hate as well.
It did.
It got terrible reviews. It was a low score in Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah. It didn't make that much money internationally or box office wise.
I feel like people try to take this film way too seriously.
They do, and it's a dumb popcorn film, but in the best possible way.
It reminds me of like original Godzilla. Godzilla is so cheesy. That's why I love it. And this is like all the graphics of a Transformers film, but way more fun.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go on.
No, I was gonna say, just like the previous film, it is kind of missing a solid villain. I mean, we got the kaiju's, but the other mentioning in the film is that in part one as well, as far as who releases the kaiju's.
No.
No.
There was a rift open in the
Okay.
Pacific Ocean.
Okay,
The
then
kaiju-
I won't say anything.
Yeah, the
then.
kaiju. The
No,
original
but
film.
I liked. I mean,
There's
I
more,
like the premise of how the kaiju.
there's more development on that.
Yes.
I know,
Well,
I
I mean,
know it's in the trailer. It's like, not
they
spoiled, but
they expand the world more. The
Okay.
storyline of the kaiju in this one.
Okay.
So the
then
first
I
film,
won't say anything. Okay.
they close the rift. The kaiju are gone. So it's like, well, how do they come back?
Well, and then you see how what happens, and it's pretty cool. I mean, you see in the trailer there's kaiju, so that's not really a spoiler.
No.
'cause
Yeah,
it wouldn't
yeah.
be Pacific Rim.
But
Otherwise,
how?
but the how part I thought was cool.
okay.
It was
Yeah.
cool.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
it.
And
that's
I
cool.
also thought,
I would have liked to have seen more of that, but go ahead.
but they do. I don't want.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
so,
yeah, without
all right,
spoiling,
so with
I
that
know
being
that.
said, let's. Any final thoughts? Mike.
I would say this film delivers on exactly what you expect it to. Big popcorn flick, giant robot, and monsters punching each other out. Everything else takes a backseat. I don't mind.
All right, Heather.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't like Oscar nominated or the most amazing film ever made, but it is, like you said, popcorn for like worthy. Just if you want to have a good movie going experience, this is it.
All
It's
right.
not the best movie ever made, but it's fun.
Okay, Dan.
It expands the lore of the kaiju and the Jaegers. There's in the trailer there you see two Jaegers fighting, and that's pretty awesome. Just gonna throw that
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
And there's a reason behind.
Cool.
why
Don't.
So that's
spoil it. Thank you.
It's awesome. It's so much fun. I'm gonna quickly just give. There's a couple people that commented.
Yes, please.
Michael said, "Go watch it tonight."
He's naked back.
It's a live action anime. Kaylee, thank you for commenting. She put, "I wasn't interested in seeing it, but you guys are changing my mind."
Damn,
Yeah.
right, Kaylee, I'm right there with you. I'm honestly was not. I was avoiding this film, and now I'm like, oh, I must have missed this. Okay,
Go watch it, and go watch it. I mean, I know you hate 3D.
nope,
but
not gonna do it.
But it's so good in 3D.
It
Don't-
was,
You
it
Kaylee-
saw
was,
it in 3D?
Kaylee, I don't know
Nah, it
you,
was not
but
2D.
don't watch
it
it
was
in 3D.
worth it in 3D.
2D.
Yeah.
It was
Good.
totally,
Okay.
totally worth it.
Big screen, but
All right.
2D. All right. Anybody else?
No.
All right. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this a dine-in. Watch it in theaters. I am giving each of you a
Yay.
point.
Yay!
And
hey, we all got a point today.
all
we
four of us.
did. Oh my god, we actually totally did. So with that being said, my hosting duties gets thrown back to Dan. Heather took him.
It's
Heather
now
took
been
him.
intercepted. Now Heather is the
No, I
host.
got
I
That was
thought-
so
Stolen
short-lived.
You don't want to be the host, Heather. Trust me.
I know.
I mean, did you
don't.
see
I
Mike
was gonna
fumble
throw it at
like
your face,
crazy?
but you
Like,
stole it.
like, do you
so.
really want to fumble as badly as Mike did today?
Yeah. I like that I set the bar low enough.
So low.
That way
You
know.
fumbled so
Yeah,
badly.
yeah. It was just set up.
we all fumbled badly.
Hey, speak for yourself.
Yeah, seriously.
I'm just kidding.
We were awesome over here.
So Heather, thank you so much for being on the show. Is there anything you'd like to promote?
Check out our website. It is www.etwla.com. And when I say
It's a lot
our,
of W's.
is it? How many W's did I say?
She gave
It
it
was
5.
No. It was like www.etlaw. All right.
See, it's a
gotta
tongue
think.
twister.
.com
Try that again.
etwla.com. That's what you need to say. You need to see www.
I don't know why I do. It just like, I don't know, the 90s. Still in, like, you have to-
HTTPS
Yes,
colon
exactly.
/ www. It stands for World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Dot. What was it again?
etwla.com.
So
Dot
that's
com.
that's Eastside Theater Works, our theater company right here in East LA. We are a nonprofit theater in the sense that we don't charge for our free after-school programs where we teach kids theater, which is an incredibly valuable tool to learn basic life skills. And also we do performances throughout the year, and those are completely free for audience members. And
Free
check
for the
us out.
community.
It's free for all.
Ooh.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Z, for being on the show.
My contribution was Pacific Rim Job. Yeah, my contribution.
Yeah, that was good. Good contribution.
Oh,
Thank you.
jeez, thank
And
you.
Thank you, Mike, for being on the show as well, even though you have to be here. And thank you to our audience member, Michael.
Yay.
Michael, you can put your pants on now.
No,
We're-
he doesn't want to, though. But please do. And I'm Dan the Man, and we'll have an audio episode next week for Ready Player One.
I'm
And
so excited.
We'll be back with audio episodes. Stay tuned.
Bye.
Goodbye.
See you later.
Goodbye.
Cue the music.